Hello, hope you're having a great day. Now, after yesterday's very intense boxing class and after staying up until 1:15 in the morning, I think it was, editing the next video on the other channel, this morning was always going to be a battle, and it really was. I woke up at 7:30 when my alarm went off, and I just set another alarm for 8:30 and went back to sleep. I was just so knackered, like I felt like I hadn't slept. Now, realistically, I probably got to sleep around 2, so getting up at 7:30, it's only 5.5 hours sleep. It's not a very tiny amount of sleep. It's not unrealistic to think you could get up after 5.5 hours sleep, but maybe when you've had a boxing class, like I did last night, what was really intense, maybe that 5.5 hours just wasn't enough. Now, when my alarm went back off at 8:30, it was then still a battle to get up. And it's funny, over the last sort of couple of weeks, I've either utterly failed to get up. I've had a few days where I've just decided to have a lie-in with Kat. So I've either sort of failed miserably or just been able to get up at 7:30, and it's sort of not felt like as much of a battle as it has in the past. In the past, I'd get up at 7:30. The only way I'd end up getting at 7:30 is I'd get up at 7:30 and I'd sit on the foot end of my bed for 20 minutes just having this internal battle with myself. My mind just coming in and giving me excuses why I should go back to sleep, and me just sitting there battling and just thinking things along the lines of, no, stay up, be tired, but don't be a loser, be a tired winner rather than a rested loser. But yeah, the last couple of weeks, I haven't had that. Like, really, it's just been a case of I either get up and, I don't need to sit on my foot end of my bed and have that battle, or I just end up having a lay-in. And then obviously when I get up, then I'm rested, right? Well, this morning I went back to, having to literally have a battle with myself. This was at 8:30, of course, when I got up after my second alarm. And even then, like, as I'm going through every step of my routine, my mind is just, filling my head with excuses why I should go back to sleep. Like, it really was a battle. Like, I think I got up from the foot end of my bed and then sat down a couple of times, like just sitting there, sort of trying to decide whether I'm going to go back to sleep or whether I'm going to get up. Now, thankfully, I didn't go back to sleep at that point, and I just cracked on with my day. But it took a while for me to be awake. Normally, once I have my water or my salt water, and then I obviously have my vitamin C at that point, I'm awake. But yeah, today it wasn't until sort of after I'd got my clothes on and brushed my teeth, and after I was pretty much out on my walk, really, like until I felt awake. So yeah, it was kind of like reminiscent of how every morning used to be this morning, just where I was battling my mind, basically, my lazy mind trying to keep me in bed. And look, it's not that these things aren't linked to actual tiredness. It's just that in the past, regardless of how tired I am, I would still have that mental battle. And I'm grateful now that, all right, I have had quite a lot of lay-ins lately. I was ill very recently and injured and stuff, and there's always something, right? But it definitely feels like that kind of battle I had this morning is more rare nowadays, which is great. But I still accept and I still acknowledge that I'm still not doing good enough in terms of getting up. Like, all this other stuff that I'm analysing, just trying to figure out who I am and trying to, figure out how I can mentally think about things to get me to a point where I am getting up on time every morning. That's all great, but ultimately, I'm not the kind of person that can just get up at 7:30 every day, and that's a problem. That is unacceptable. And today getting up at 8:30 is still unacceptable. Even if there is sort of some justification there with me being fatigued from my boxing class, with me sitting up late, etc. But I'm grateful that I did manage to get up at 8:30 and get going, considering how much my mind was trying to persuade me at that point to go back to sleep. And right now I'm not feeling that tired. I'm not having to battle to stay awake now. Admittedly, once I've finished filming this clip, it's there might be some resistance there for me to actually stand up and crack on with my workout, because my body is tired. But I'm up, and I'm grateful that I'm up. Now, I've got a busy day of basically editing all day. I think I'd love to be able to edit the video I'm working on the other channel and then go and spend half a day around the garage, but you know, I just put too many hours into each video for that to be possible. Even with the editing I did last night, it's probably going to be barely possible for me to release that video this evening. And I'm kind of in two minds whether I should release it this evening. And, you know, I've got to be careful, because when I'm in two minds about something, you know, that can just hold me up in terms of my productivity, right? But, you know, I could, in theory, do a little bit of editing and then get back round to my garage today to carry on filming the next video that I'm working on, and then just make sure that that video goes out tomorrow evening, because it's Wednesday today and it's pointless me putting a video out on Wednesday when I've already put one out on Monday, unless I'm going to be able to put the next one out on Friday. If I'm not going to be able to put another one out on Friday, then it makes more sense to put this one out on a Thursday and then the next one out on a Sunday, because I never release on a Saturday. Hope that makes sense. Probably very complicated, but yeah, if I didn't put the video out this evening, then that would free me up to go back round to the garage to carry on filming the next video that I'm working on. And yeah, what I'm working on at the moment, I'm quite excited about. So I don't know how the day's going to pan out in terms of what I'm going to do, but you know, the main thing is I'm going to keep myself busy. But before all that, I need to bang out my home workout. And on a Wednesday morning, I've got push-ups, sit-ups and shrugs. Done loads of push-ups in boxing last night. I'm literally having to change arms holding this camera. My arms are knackered. Yeah, did loads of sit-ups in boxing last night as well. I was doing like circuit training and stuff. And yeah, this is going to be a killer. I might not be able to do as many reps as I normally do, but I'm going to do 2 sets of sit-ups, push-ups to failure, and the third exercise on a Wednesday morning is shrugs, and I'm going to do that with the dumbbells. I think it feels so much better than doing it with the bar, because you can sort of get more range of motion, you know, because you're holding your hands like this rather than having the bar force your shoulder to be, you know, rotated slightly. So yep, push-ups, sit-ups, shrugs, 2 sets of each. Then I'm going to dive in my cold shower, and then I'm going to have my breakfast. And I want to get all that done as quick as I can so that I can dive into doing whatever work I do decide to do. All right, well, despite having not the best start of the day, you know, with me having an extra hour's sleep, I have actually been able to really focus on editing this video on the other channel. And I've just finished editing it at 3:30, so it's easily ready for a 7 PM release. I still need to edit yesterday's video on this channel, and I do have footage that I captured that's going to be in the next video on the other channel that I can crack on with today. And along with the fact that it's really late in the afternoon, it's not worth me going over to the other garage. You know, in an ideal world, it would have been awesome if I could edit that video and get over to the garage to continue filming that other one. But yeah, I don't think it's worth it. But yeah, I really have been able to focus today. And, you know, part of me's thinking that maybe that extra hour's sleep has helped me focus more. You know, so I lost an hour because I got up late, but maybe I've gained that back from, you know, being able to focus more. But, you know, I don't want to focus on that. You know, that's just my mind trying to find an excuse for me being lazy this morning. But ultimately, the video's done, which is great. And yeah, all in good time. But right now, I think I'm going to have some lunch. And as usual, I'm going to have some chicken, salad and cheese sandwiches. I love a bit of chicken. Loads of protein every day. And my dessert has got another 25 grams of protein as well. And these taste awesome. I haven't even started eating this yet, and the video's nearly finished creating. Well, unfortunately, it's another late gym session for me tonight. It's now 10 to 9. But yeah, I have been on it all day with my work, and yeah, really proud of how I've just attacked the work that I've needed to do, especially considering how much of a battle this morning was in terms of getting up. But, you know, I'm still seeing that, you know, I failed miserably with that first battle of the day. But yeah, definitely kept my head in my MacBook all day, and yeah, really chuffed with what I've been able to do. I was basically all done with the videos and the posts for both channels today, and I was basically waiting for Kat to get home so that I could use her car to go to the gym. And then I started diving into something to do with merchandise that yeah, it was a bit tricky and it took a bit of time. And just as I got deep into that, Kat walked in the door, and yeah, it just meant that because I was halfway through dealing with what I was dealing with, I wasn't able to literally just leave for the gym as soon as she got in. I mean, she got in just after 8 anyway, but yeah, so I'm going to the gym a bit later than ideal, but you know what, it's absolutely fine. I'm going to do a back and shoulder session. I am going to try and bang this out tonight though. You know, as I've mentioned loads of times before, like, it is a balance. You know, I can't just leave too much or too little gap between sets, because then I won't be able to bang out enough reps for the session to be worthwhile. So, you know, I've got to find a balance. But yeah, I am looking to get in there and just batter this session and get in and out of there. I'm not going to do my incline walk warm-up that I normally do. I normally do a really fast, really steep incline walk just for 0.6 miles to get my body warm. But I've still got a bit of an injury from boxing yesterday. I twisted my ankle, so I'm going to sit on the exercise bike instead. I'll probably just do 3 miles on the exercise bike. In the past I've liked to do 5, but then, you know, I'm on there for a bit of time, and I want to try and bang this session out, as I say. And the reason that I end up doing 5 miles is because for some reason, like, the calories you burn on an exercise bike compared to doing my incline walk, for instance, is very low. So you end up having to do loads of miles to hit that sort of 100 calories or whatever, you know. Not that I'm that bothered about, you know, how many calories I'm burning. It's just that it's visual when you see it in front of you, and you feel like you need to you know, bang out at least 5 miles on there. But you know, 5 miles on the exercise bike, if you are going at it, really does ache your legs. So I don't think that'd be a good idea, because I think I've got legs tomorrow morning at home in my workout, and you know, my legs are going to be fatigued from boxing last night. But I digress. Going in there tonight, exercise bike warm up, then going to do the 5 machines that I normally do on back and shoulders. By the time I get in there, it's going to be 9 o'clock on the dot. So let's see if I can get out of the gym at 10 or before. I doubt it, but let's see. Alright, so I actually got out of the gym just after 10 PM, but I didn't manage to get on the diverging seated row because it was taken. And then I was going to just bang out 3 sets of bent over rows at home here with a bar, but I forgot I needed to pick up some milk on the way home from the gym. Also grabbed myself a steak because I'm going to have a massive dinner tonight. And yeah, it's like 11:15, you know, I have had a shower, but it's 11:15, you know, it would have been, you know, 10:30 me banging out those sets of bent over row. I still accept that I could have and probably should have, you know, it'd only take me 5, 6, 7 minutes. But yeah, I made a decision to not do that, and I'm going to add the bent over barbell rows to my morning workout tomorrow. And yeah, I just decided to have a shower and focus on having my dinner. And I do actually want to dive into a little bit of work before I go to bed. Yeah, a lot to cram in, considering in an ideal world I should be going to bed in about 15 minutes, which obviously isn't going to happen. But yeah, today has been yeah, really successful day. I've been really happy with how I've kept my head in my MacBook and done all my work, but I'm still going to acknowledge the fact that I failed to get up. You know, it's still a failure of a day. And I was thinking about something in the shower, right? Now, a lot of people say that I'm too hard on myself and stuff, and I get it, you know, I know what you're saying, but this is the way I see it, right? You know, I've had an awesome day today, done you know, all my work and whatnot, and really proud of myself for keeping myself focused in my MacBook. And, you know, I'm still saying that I've basically failed. You know, judging by the standards that I want to get to the point that I'm living by, I've failed, right? Now, this is the way I see it. Now, just imagine you're living a life where you're overeating every day, you're severely overweight, you know, making yourself ill because you're so unhealthy, you never exercise, you know, you might masturbate every day, yeah? You might be horrible to everyone you're around, you know, a really miserable person, and then you come home every night and get drunk or take drugs or sit in front of a computer game, you know, literally living that kind of lifestyle. And look, I'm not here to judge anyone. Some people like living that lifestyle. But if you was living that lifestyle and then one day you managed to get up, you didn't masturbate, and, you know, you didn't get drunk or high in the evening, and then didn't play computer games, you know, you're still like being horrible to people, you're still like eating crap, you're still overweight, you're still, you know, miserable. But that would be a really successful day, wouldn't it, compared to the standards that you normally live your life by, right? That would be a successful day. Whereas to a lot of people, including myself, that successful day is an utter failure of a day for me. You know, my utter failure days are, you know, more successful than that person's utter successful days. And I get it, we're all in different places, you know, in terms of fitness and health and stuff, and that's like a really extreme comparison, and I don't think anyone should compare themselves to someone else. But if I was in a position where today, not being able to get up early, but, you know, getting all my work done, if I see that as a success, then I'm kind of saying that it's okay for me to not get up early in the morning, and my mind doesn't need any extra excuses to make me not get up in the morning. So, you know, you've got to judge your own opinion on whether your day has been successful or not. And for me, no matter how hard I work, you know, if I don't get up on time in the morning, I see that as a failure, because that kind of frame of mind is what it's going to take if I'm ever going to get to the point where I never fail to get up early in the morning. And in the same way that if I did get up in the morning but then didn't work out, or I did get up and work out but then didn't get my work done, you know, just sat on the phone scrolling, you know, there'd still be a failure of the day. It doesn't matter, like, just because, you know, most of your day has been successful, you want to get to a point where you're ever improving. And yeah, I think the fact that I see a day where I've worked really hard, I've got a video out, and I'm really proud of myself for doing a workout in the morning and going to the gym, you know, a day with all of that, I still see as a failure because I didn't get up. And that just shows how far I've come, because years ago a successful day for me was going to work and managing to get my day job done whilst high on cocaine, without, you know, killing someone, and without getting caught, and without losing my job. So, you know, it's just a gauge of how far I've come from those dark days. But tomorrow I've got so much planned. It's going to be one of them days where I'm not going to be able to do everything that I would like to do. So some decisions are going to have to be made in terms of what I'm going to flop and what I'm not. But yeah, I can deal with that tomorrow. Right now, I need to have my massive steak and chicken and egg dinner, have my smoothie that I always have, and yeah, just tick off a little bit more work before going to bed, and hopefully getting up early tomorrow and attacking the day, because that's the only way I'm going to get done the maximum possible tomorrow. And yeah, tomorrow's going to be one of them days where I'm just going to be flat out, I think. So I'm going to end this video here. As always, massive thanks to everyone who's tuned in. Hope it's been somewhat helpful or motivational. I'll be back for another video tomorrow for you guys that want to follow me on my day. Me and Kat are actually heading out somewhere tomorrow evening as well. I'll show you all about that. But yeah, feel free to say hello in the comments as usual, or get in touch through Facebook, Instagram or email. But other than that, I'll chat to you tomorrow.